conversation, honestly. What would you tell yourself that was in that moment, in that dark time? What kind of advice would you give her?
I would give her the concept of ownership of who you really are, and not outside projections of who you're supposed to be.
Wow.
I would really encourage any young woman that is facing that struggle or going through something, similar, to really just pull in all of your energy from everyone around you and get really grounded and own who you truly are, who are you, what's your character. And I would stand in that very powerfully, in the face of people trying to project onto you anything, and really own your truth, because ultimately that's what defines you, not what other people say or think about you.
Beautiful. I'm being with that for a moment. That's very profound. You mentioned your daughter as well. What do you love most about your daughter, Amelia?
Oh my God, my daughter is the most stubborn, resilient, unique little, she's so much like me, and she wanted so much to be independent ever since she was born. She just, I can do it on my own. And it was because I was kind of forced in that situation to be very strong and do everything independently. And she was wanting to be like me. And she really embraced that. And she's absolutely beautiful. She's so smart. She graduated high school in New Mexico on the honors. She was I can't think of what it's called, but she graduated an honors, honor one of the, accredited, and she actually got a scholarship into college, and she made the dean's list the first year of college. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm so elated, and I bought her a photography business called Feel Unique Photography, which is like Orchid Free Feel Unique, my kind of art thing. But she's an amazing photographer, and she's also a mother now, and it has a family of her own. She's married, and I'm so proud of her.
That's incredible. That is incredible. No, I love hearing that. I really do, because I think that's where our power is. Really, tapping into who we love and why we love them. I think that's infinitely stronger than it's like there's that line from one of the Star Wars movies. We're not going to win by destroying what we hate. We're going to win by protecting what we love. And I think that there's so much power there. And not only feeling the love for your son and your daughter, I feel like you're empowering other women. And that's what I want to talk a little bit about today, Amelia, is I want to hear these stories about how your mission, how your what you're creating, is empowering others, especially other women. So we talked a little bit about that, earlier this week. But please, whatever you feel that you want to go. Yeah.
I want to talk about the Karmic Margin Call project too, and our new campaign as well. Hopefully, we'll interject that throughout the show. But
Great.
I move so much like a cat. Everyone, it's all very instinctual, and I do what I have to do to take care of my family, protect my boy, and through I stand in my truth. And the people that are meant to be in my life will be in my life, and the people that aren't, stay 50 feet away.
Yeah. And that's the thing, when somebody's...
I'm going to stand in my
Yeah,
truth.
when somebody is in that...
I'm going to stand in my truth and my work and my character and doing the show since 2015 speaks for itself. As far as being a role model, though, your question.
Well, yeah, I mean, role model, or what other success stories or what other inspiring stories has your work inspired?
Oh, okay. Well, recently some of the guests that have been on the podcast have reached out to me, and I think Al Jacobson just came out with a new book, a second book to his series on fairies, independent fairies. Not all women grow up to get married, and some women, grow up to have careers and things of that nature. So he's writing a series of children's books for little girls, young ladies. I'm going to be having him back on the podcast for another visit. I interviewed him for his first book, and recently he just published his second book. So I'm like thrilled. I just think that's the bomb. And another one of my guests, Bethany Sims, who's been on the podcast in the past, she just started a website called PHAT, PHAT. Let me see. I want to make sure I say it right. Do you remember the website?
I do. Yeah, I looked at the graphic before. Yeah,
it's like the F word.
Yep.
PHAT, PHAT.
Yep.
.com, and just everybody that's been on the show, and traveled with me on this journey since 2014. Everybody's kind of doing, they're gliding along with me upstream, and I like it. My friends that are really my friends,
Absolutely. Because when the friendship is true, there's not that competitive, those negative emotions associated with competitiveness. You shine your light, and others will shine as well with you. Those that when you shine your light, and those that choose to hide in shadow, sometimes we just have to say, bless you, it's okay. Our paths are going to go in different directions, but if you want to stay in shadow, you stay in shadow. I'm going toward the light.
No, and I really thrive on those kind of friendships, and I'm so proud of them. And I like everybody to build each other, because it builds a sense of community, and I support everybody that comes into my life, because that's just who I am and what I am, and I try not to, I've been very disappointed, and I've had, a lot of people in the past that have chosen to betray or say horrible things, and that's their prerogative, but chose a different direction, and that's fine. People grow apart for various reasons, not all negative, but there's a season for everything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
one thing.
I published the Karmic Margin Micheal campaign the other night.
Yes.
And I called it The Call of the Wild.
Yes. Okay.
I made a logo, and I hope you like it. Like I was a little bit worried. I was like, oh my God, what is he going to think?
No, it's the kind of thing where, and that's the thing too, Amelia, when you're with the right people, you can't say or do anything wrong. When you're with the wrong people, you can't say or do anything right. I love everything you've been putting out. I'm curious, Call of the Wild, what inspired that?
The wild and the free. Because
wow.
Because I think the internet is sort of untamed. And we are slowly kind of shaping up to be something. There's the cream of the crop, and those of us or people that have been online personalities, people that have had these the presence online to try and work with the communities that they have online. I really honor them. I think they're great because it's such a it's such a Shark Tank, to go online. You have to be really brave. And
oh yeah.
And I think as it's shaping up, there's people that have really been shaped by that, on having an online presence. They've been shaped by that, and it's interesting to me to observe and watch. And I've had the social media news network, Porthole to Justice, where I've kind of observed some of these individuals, and helped also support them as well. I want to see everybody do well. And it's just interesting. And I think that it's a whole new genre and landscape that we have to learn to transverse. And I think some of these people deserve to be accredited and get credit where credit's due.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Call of the Wild. What comes up for me as you're saying all that too, Amelia, is when we're in this environment where things are about instant gratification and having things there for us instantly, like we have on the internet, it tends to shut off those mechanisms we have for empathy. And what I've been noticing and really doing a lot of deep dive researching with recently is something called acquired sociopathy. We see this with narcissists as well. Is that when you are in those high stakes competitive environment like the internet often is nowadays, it's almost like a form of brain damage, where the capacity for empathy gets shut down, and it's about win at all costs. Get your digs in at all costs, it is a very wild environment. So, part of what we're proposing and what we want to encourage with emotional IQ is being able to wake up those mechanisms for empathy, so that we do find more win-win, more supportive, create more of that supportive environment. But the Call of the Wild is is like the soil that we crawl through to get to that, and I think the plants, the buds, or the orchids, are starting to reach the surface here.
No, I mean, it's,
you like how I segued into that?
absolutely. No, and it's kind of like the best of the best of the best, and those that are, there's so many amazing people that I've met that are truly authentic and have some really amazing character and resilience. That I've met throughout the years, people like Aaliyah Holland, and she has the Heal Network, and I've had her on as a guest on the show many, many times. Amazing woman, and she has not been changed at all. She's very focused, and there's just some people that are just they're not phased. They're not phased one bit, and they are, thriving in these environments, and it's fascinating to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, what comes up for me as well too, you mentioned Aaliyah as well too, this idea of having people coming together and really being able to share those deeper truths. I read Aaliyah's book. I've listened to the podcast that you've had with her as well too. You attract some very knowledgeable, very profoundly, very profoundly sincere people with a great mission, and it's just amazing to be able to be in the energy of that and be able to listen to that. And my hope is that, we'll continue to facilitate maybe even, fellowship conversations, group conversations where we do, those deep dives, into our art, our missions, our intentions.
Of course. And, I guess I'm just a really, I try to be very grounded and very much in the moment kind of person. And if something or something